Here we have the 2-hour price chart for Apple Incorporated, stock ticker AAPL. Here we can see that we're having a strong gap upward to start the trading day and the trading week. This is a positive development for the stock because there were some major questions about how this stock in particular was going to perform this week. There were also some major questions about how the entire technology space was going to be performing this week, mostly due to the fact that uh, there were major sell-offs last Thursday, and a lot of technical damage was done to the price charts for many different companies. I mean, we're talking Microsoft, Nvidia, Facebook, Meta. There were many companies that have been trading under severe selling pressure. And it hasn't been exactly clear if we were going to see upward price movements in stocks or in stocks in the technology sector, or if we were going to start to see some further declines and some continued downside follow through in these Mag 7 names. So here we can see that there is a bit of a decisive move higher here. We can kind of drill in here a bit and kind of point to this price gap here. We are seeing, this is a significant move higher, and it's mostly significant in my view because we're now breaking the July 10th all-time highs, which came in just above $233. So currently we're trading above 235.50. Ultimate highs here have posted at 237.21. So this might look like a small gap on this chart, but it's because it's a 2-hour chart, and that's not really a short-term time frame. It is a significant move higher, and it's mostly significant in my view because we broke this prior resistance level in the process. You could make the argument that that's going to be a little bit of a problem here going forward because if we sort of fall back into this price gap, we would have to expect prices to kind of fill this gap and move lower. So it will be important to watch the price lows here, which came in at 233.33. If we do see a break below there, we could see a decline back to at least, I would call this 231.87 relatively quickly. I mean, it's not a huge dollar amount. But we would have to expect this area to be filled relatively quickly. And given the fact that we were trading at prior highs here, prior all-time highs, it does stand to reason that there is a large number of sell orders that will be parked in this area, which were never tripped, due to the fact that prices gapped higher to start the trading session. I do have some theories about why this is occurring. I would like to hear some comments from people saying, explaining why they think this upward gap is happening. I don't, at the risk of making this sound too political, I actually do think that it probably has a lot to do with the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. It sounds like kind of a random, unconnected news piece or something like that. But the reason that I think that it is having an impact here is because I think that it kind of strengthened his position in the polls, in the election polls, and markets tend to favor Republican candidates. So, when Republican candidates historically, and I'm not just talking about Donald Trump or even recent history here. I mean, I'm talking about long-term history for hundreds of years. Stock markets tend to move higher when Republicans are president, and there are reasons for that. It's because there are fewer regulations, generally lower taxes for lower corporate taxes and things like that. So companies tend to have better earnings reports during those types of Republican administrations. So it's not uncommon to see stock markets as a whole. And now we're not talking about just one company here. I don't think Apple Computer is really a fan of Donald Trump specifically, but the market as a whole tends to move higher in situations where Republicans are likely to become president. And I think that the assassination attempt, I mean, the fact that he survived and everything like that, my expectation here is that his poll numbers will go up. And if the market believes that a Republican will be president, I would say that that's probably going to be interpreted as good news for the stock market. So in my view, that's probably what's happening here. If anybody disagrees with that, I would like to hear some reasoning in the comments. I mean, why exactly do you think we're gapping higher here? Because this isn't even just a move higher. It's a price gap. And these are large cap companies. These are mega cap companies that we're talking about. So this is a lot of money involved here. It takes a lot to cause a price gap in Apple stock. Um, So, a large amount of money has to go in. So something happened today. And, the only news event that I can really point to would be the Donald Trump assassination. So currently, as far as this price chart is concerned, support levels to the downside first come in my view, at roughly $230. The reason that I would point to this price level would be because, we've got this current bull wave here, using the price lows, which came in June 21st, price lows of 207.11, and then price highs of 237.21, which would have been posted, well, today. So, if we're looking at this as the dominant price move, the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement comes in at 230.03. So just above the $230 level. And the reason that I would point to this area here is because we also have this rising exponential moving average. That would be this yellow line here. So this is the 20-period exponential moving average, and it's now coming into contact with this 23.6% Fibonacci retracement. So we've got a confluence of technical indicators here, which do sort of suggest that we could start to see some support develop in those areas. And the good news would be that, at that point, prices would have already filled this price gap. So that wouldn't be something that you would have to worry about anymore. So currently, if you're looking to buy the stock, the 230 level is really where I would be watching first. From there, we can start to look at the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement, which comes in just below 2560. The reason that I would point to this area would be the fact that the 50-period exponential moving average is currently rising quite quickly, and is ready to come into contact with this area. We're not quite there yet. You might want to wait a bit here, but it could take some time for prices to drop to this level. And this would give, this might give the exponential moving average enough time to move into this area. So what I'm talking about here is this orange zone here, and then this orange upward sloping line, which is the 50-period exponential moving average. Those two, the fact that they're both orange doesn't mean anything. That's just a coincidence on this chart. But we are starting to see those two price indicators move into alignment with one another. And then so this would be the next level that I would be watching to the downside for anybody that's looking to buy this stock. So currently, I would wait. I would not be buying at these all-time highs. First, I would wait for a drop to at least 230. And then from there below, I would really be looking at 2560 as a nice entry zone for new long positions. So here's the current weekly update for the week ahead for Apple Incorporated, stock ticker AAPL.